Greetings, people of the internet. It is I, that Canadian fangirl. It's another week of red hot excitement. This week, we're gonna follow up that Avatar episode I did a couple weeks back with the Dragon Prince. I brought it up last year when I was talking about best shows of the year. When I said the Dragon Prince was one of the best shows I watched that wasn't an anime. Stand by that. I love this show. It's probably one of the best anime shows on that's currently airing on Netflix. I say currently airing, even though season 7 clearly wrapped up this arc, but there's enough material that if they do another full arc with, I think the showrunners have said that they have ideas. They could run another 3 season arc. So yeah, currently airing because if it was Kansas, I'm pretty sure we would know. Like, it's got a pretty dedicated fan base. I'm pretty sure if Netflix canceled the Dragon Prince, I'm pretty sure the fans would know. But then again, I haven't been on social media for like a month. I'm doing wonder for my mental health, because, oh my god, because like what's happening in America right now, I'm glad I'm not tuned in social media, but we're talking about the Dragon Prince. Which, god, every time a new season of the Dragon Prince comes up, I'm just more and more glad that I got into this show back when the first season aired. Like, I remember when season 1 dropped, and there was like no fanfare for this thing, so it's like, oh, this looks interesting. And it was from 2 of the people who currently worked on Avatar, and you can tell they took a lot of their experience from the working on Avatar, and they brought it to the Dragon Prince. And season 1 was really fun, and you can tell it was great. The only thing that season 1 had that was probably the same for a lot of people was the animation, which gets better. And I'm gonna say this, I like the animation of the Dragon Prince. I think it looks great, and it has some great expressive art, so I like what they're doing with the animation of this show, but I know that that quasi 2D, 3D look that a lot of people are using, well, it's clearly clearly CG models, but the filters don't have to make the show looks like it's being drawn in traditional hand drawn when it's clearly not. I know a lot of people. I think it works for the Dragon Prince because it makes the character stand out a lot more. And it's clunky in that first season, but if you're focusing on the animation, the story in that first season is great. Honestly, it's one of the shows where it's like, I like season 1 a lot. And so when season 2 came out, I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. Then season 3 came out, and by the time season 3 got up, it's like, this show was amazing. And then they announced that the show was, again, the subtitle, The Mystery of Elvo, for season 4. And season 4 was a little bit of a rough patch, but a lot of what they do in season 4, I think, works. Okay. The other thing that season 4 that don't work, I think it's probably one of the weaker seasons, but season 5, season 6, and definitely with season 7 that just dropped last month? Or was it November? I can't remember. Like, yeah, it came full circle, and I love this show. I think the show is amazing. So, there's a 63 episodes, 7 seasons, 9 episodes this season, 7 times 9, 63. I have to say that because it took me way too long to remember that, because I couldn't do math last night. It's like, wait, oh god, I don't remember, oh no, I don't remember math! Okay. Let's go to the 9 timetable. 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, what's 9 times 4? 9 times 4 is 36? Like, 9 times 5, what was 9 times 5? I don't remember. That was fun last night. I'm trying to remember math, but I mean, with 7 seasons, the show will break it. The first 3 seasons is one complete arc, and then 4 through 7 is the Mystery of Elbows. And that first arc is a good introduction to this world. Like, season 1 does some great world building, introducing what this world's about, setting up this fantasy world and the land of Katalis, and the magic creatures banishing the humans to the other side of the other than the Tile land, and the human kingdom that rise up, and the conflict that arises between the humans and the magical creatures of Zadia. I think it's all of them. Katalis was the kingdoms. I got so confused. And this natural conflict, the mystery of what the dragon egg is, this attack, this journey to bring back the Dragon Prince, which I think season 1 does a great job of setting all that up. Season 2 expands on the world. We got a lot more interesting world building. We see how these kingdoms. We see the connection with these kingdoms. We see how these characters interact with each other. And honestly, season 2 is probably my favorite season of the Dragon Prince, just because some of my favorite episode is definitely a season 2 episode. Season 3 is honestly a great finale. Like, you start season 3, they'll finally in Zadia. They get the Dragon Prince to his mother. The war is kicking off. The finale's here. You got some great moments, and it all wraps up beautifully. They come to a semi-understanding between humans and these magical creatures of Zadia. I think that's great. And then you see season 4. And season 4... And again... Okay, before we get to season 4, before we get to ALO. 1, the first 3 seasons do a great job of setting up this world and showing exactly how this... Like, you can tell it's the Avatar guys, because... Okay, sorry. Rephrase that. You can tell it's people who worked on Avatar, because the world building in this show is incredible. Like, everything seems like it was thought out. The creature design, the different kingdoms, the way everyone interacts. There's a magic system. I think it was one of the best magic systems I've seen in recent years. Oh my god, the ideas of the primal magic and breaching down to the primal soul. Again, it's my favorite episode. I love that one. But it's a great magic system. It just feels like this world is real. And with characters that are mentally likable. Like, the only thing you can say about it, these characters are likable. Like, not only are heroes of Callum, Rayla, Etherin, and Zim, Bait. Not only are all heroes, a good strong cast of, serious, comedic. They have this good balance and they work. And the characters they come across that, aid on their journey are all great. Not only that, you have great villains. Like, I'll say that, I think Villain as a villain is immensely interesting. I think he's a great villain, and I think he's probably the bigger villain. I don't know, because I think the 4th has the main villain is Elbows, but, like, even before you and they were teasing Elbows in the first 3 seasons, but even before you get to the stuff with Elbows, like, a lot of what Villain was doing was, I think, a lot of what Villain was doing was not even Elbows even involved, because he didn't really know who Elbows was until halfway through season 2. Like, I don't know. You get to the backstory of what eventually led to the death of the queen, and them deciding to kill the dragon. It's like that wasn't even motivated by some greater plan. That was Villain being a dick. Like, you're the one like, oh no, we just go into the Zadia steal a rock. It's like, and then he's the one who eggs the king on to basically kill the Dragon King. It's like that wasn't even motivated by, like, Elbows didn't even mastermind that. Because he didn't have the meal by that point. The meal was the Dragon King. I don't know. Again, the villains are great. You have some great villains that are wholly despicable and do and greatly written. Because then you have Claudia, who is a great tragic character following the villains. But anyway, this is tragic the villain as we find out in season 7. But you know, and Elbows is a great master manipulator. Like when we actually get to Elbows and he's sitting there in the meal and he's like, you can tell like, yeah, this thing is not really an in-your-face villain. He's a cunning manipulator, or it's like everything's going according to plan, and that's silly in his own right. So, kind of, the villains in the show are great. The side characters are wonderful. The heroes are great. Yeah, and season 3 wraps up. They could easily have ended the show with season 3, but then they time skip for season 4 about 2 years. I gotta watch season 4 again. Was it a 2 year? Was it 2 years or 5? I don't remember. And the mysteries they build up in season 4. Season 4 is rough because it's a bit slow. Granted, a lot of the issue with season 4 is what they did with Calvin and Rayla, with I'll get to next week. More on that at the end of the episode, but even without the Callum Rayla stuff, the mystery they're setting up with the gang finding about the truth about Elbows and going on this quest to find Elbows' prison, which you don't get, because season 4 is mainly them trying to find the map to Elbows' treasure before, and trying to beat Claudia and it's fun. But it's definitely a setup. It's definitely more of a setup season than anything else. And I don't know. Season 4 was never that exciting to me. I don't know. Like, there's so much more they could have done with season 4. But again, I think most of the problem with that is that I didn't like what they did with Callum and Rayla. But more on that later. But then you have season 5. And season 5 is right back into the action. Now that we know what's up with Elbows and they have a plan, they'll honor Julian to find the prison. There's so much, we get more exciting world building, we get more politics. The politics in this world are really interesting. It's one of those shows where they're talking about fantasy politics, and you're not saying they're bored. Like, the politics are interesting, which continues in the season 6, with I think is an immensely great, which I think is elevating so much of what they had from the first 3 arcs. Like season 6 is truly spectacular. Like, they're doing some amazing things with everything in that show. And then they wrap this entire Elbow arc with season 7, which asks some big questions that I think pay off. Again, it's one of those things. Well, season 7 ends at a really good point where, if the Dragon Prince and the Netflix doesn't give us more seasons, it had a good run. It ended at a point that I'm satisfied with. Well, I'm not saying that it's like, oh yeah, but here's the thing, they're all mysteries that they adjust by the end of season 7 that won't answer, so they have a place where they could go. But if they don't, I'm okay with it. So, yeah, it ends strongly. I think it had 7 really good seasons of really good fantasy action, fantasy drama, fantasy characters. Again, all the characters are great. I've talked about, the Halo is a great character. I can't remember the queen's name. The side characters they meet. Amaya is a great general character. The great character. Janai, Soren, like all these characters are great. there's not really a bad character in the Dragon Prince, because all these characters are really just so interesting. Claudia meeting Taylor in season 4, Elbow, they're all great. There's a couple of dicks, but it's great. Callum's probably my favorite character. What can I say? I like a lot of Callum. I like a lot of what they do with Callum in the show, and because of that, he's probably my favorite character. I love his, this kind of insecure, kind of weakling vibe got going on, and his journey to becoming the very first mage by understanding the complex magic system. I love that. I think it's a great arc. And it's not just because Callum and Rayla as a couple it's a great ship. Their romance is what is carried on to the now show, and let's be honest, what people call it, Rallum, is great. More on that next week. And the one thing I will say about the Dragon Prince that I don't think too many people talk about is this show has such good representation. And I say that because this show has LGBT relationships. A good chunk of them, again, Amaya and Janai are technically two women who, throughout seasons 4 to 5, were building up to their wedding. So that's good relationship. You had the one other human kingdom with the two queens. You have Runon and Usali, who are two guys who are in love. Well, there's some great LGBT representation in this show, which is not dwelled upon. It is a relation, and yes, the main relationship in this show, Callum and Rayla, is heterosexual. But the fact that you have LGBT at all is something, and the people who make the Dragon Prince, you don't get the feeling that they're doing this because they're trying to get the LGBT to watch. It feels very natural, and I like it. Not only LGBT, race is a big thing. Half the cast of the Dragon Prince have dark skin. The Sun Elves are dark brown. Ezra is a noticeably darker skin color than Callum. King Hero has darker skin, and no one dwells on the fact that you have this mix of no one dwells on how these races affect, and I like that because I don't. It doesn't feel like anyone's pointing out particularly that these people have all different races. It just feels like something that's natural in this world. Again, representation for disabilities. Amaya is deaf. You have sign language in this show, and Amaya is one of the best characters, and having Amaya be one, it's similar to the lesbian because she falls in love with Janai, who's a queen, and she's also deaf, and she's a badass. She's a badass warrior. That makes her immensely awesome. It's yeah, you have a cool, badass female character that's deaf and a lesbian. It's and yeah, it's a public character. They don't dwell on this stuff. It's not like they pause to wink at the camera that we got this character. No, this doesn't have to be who she is, and it's awesome. You don't see that too often. I think the Dragon Prince does that really well. Another thing they do really well, Callum and Ethan are brothers, but it's a blended family kind of thing. They established early on that Sarai, was the name of the queen, married King Halo, but Halo is not someone's biological dad. There was some other guy in. There was some other man. There was, you never find out, but then she married Halo and had Ezra, and so they're a blended family, but Ezra and Callum still treat it like they are brothers. It doesn't matter the fact that they don't have the same dad. They're brothers. They treat each other like brothers. it's a good representation of how blended families work, particularly with a lot of what Callum had with Halo, because there's all the disconnect there, but he does see Halo as a dad, which is an interesting take, and they don't highlight the fact that they're a blended family. That's something that happened. Again, my God, I love the representation in this show. Any other show would probably get criticized for having LGBT, differing races, disability characters, found family. Any other show would be like, would probably like, make it like super obvious and, try to make the audience be aware that they're doing this. The Dragon Prince isn't something that the show has. And it's not really something you're thinking about, like, oh yeah, this is clearly, representation of like, someone else. Like, I'm not actually thinking about this stuff until I was talking about this. Like, oh yeah, I gotta talk about the representation in this show, because it's some of the best in modern media. In a landscape, well, if you have a character that is not white or male, usually gets criticized. Like, white male straight. It's like, no, this show is doing a lot of that stuff right, and I do like it. Honestly, I think it goes further. I think it goes further than Avatar in some regard. I don't know. Those times it's like Avatar could go Doug. I think that the Dragon Prince is these people who clearly worked on Avatar going further than what Avatar would have done. I don't know. If I had to rank, I would say, for me, Dragon Prince is season 2 is my favorite season. Then 3, just because I really like the finale of that first arc. Then season 7 for being a solid finale of the second arc. Then season 6. Then season 5. And seasons 1 and 4 are probably interchangeable, because season 4 has a lot of good stuff, but I feel like it's not as strong as the other. And season 1, which has some... Season 1 problem is the fact that it's doing a lot of setup, so it's not fully fleshed out, and you can tell that they're trying to figure out this animation, the system animation, but again, it'll change. Well, like, depending on my mood, I'll probably go season 1 or season 4. But yeah, I love this show. I think it's great. I'm still convinced there was way more to Callum than letting on, because let's be honest, Step Prince is a very specific wording, and I know when they call him Step Prince, they're talking about the fact that Halo is not his biological dad, but it's like, and I know I was talking about the other family thing, but it's like, that's way too specific for me. There was way more to Callum as a character. There's gonna be some reveal about Callum. There's gonna be some reveal. I am still convinced there's gonna be some reveal about Callum. Like, his dad was an elf. He's half elf. You know it. But then again, being which will probably take away from the fact that he is the first human made and he worked really hard for his skills, but so if that never happens, I'm okay with that, because I'm actually gonna like Cal as he is, but God, Step Prince is way too different than Lonely Dale. It's way more to Callum. I know it. Callum is best boy. He will always be. I love Callum. There's way more to my little mage boy. But I digress. That's really all I want to say about the Dragon Prince, because I'm going to... Well, for this week. We will be back with the Dragon Prince next week, because I'm going to start a new... I don't know, what would we call them? I'm going to try something new next week, and I'm going to break down Callum and Rayla as a couple. I'm going to analyze their whole relationship over 7 seasons. We're going to talk about their start as enemies, the friends, the lovers, through all 7 seasons, and to show why they truly are one of the best couples in TV right now. So stay tuned for that. And And to stay tuned, remember to like and subscribe to this podcast so that the algorithm can recommend That Canadian Fangirl to more people. This so Spotify knows that people are watching this. Remember to like and follow. Remember to follow me on my socials: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Bluesky, my Twitch. Read my stories on Wattpad and Fanfiction. Leave a comment if you're so inclined. The comments are in the description down below. When you read the description, the comments are right below it. Remember, no gatekeeping. We don't gatekeep in this community. If you like something, you're a fan of it, don't let other people tell you otherwise. And remember, when people ask what fangirl do you listen to, it is That Canadian Fangirl. With Canadian Fangirl? That Canadian Fangirl. Alright. Later, people. See you next week for more Dragon Prince.